This is Steve Munn, ClearPoint Center, emotional body coach. Just want to share with you a short story, if that's okay. A couple weeks ago, I'm off to do a talk on a pain-free body. 3 days before the talk, I ended up getting the worst pain I've ever had in my left shoulder. I could barely lift my arm or my hand up to put on my clothes. Everything I was doing, I was wincing. And on my way over to the talk, I started to think about what was going on in my mind and my thought stream while I was preparing for that talk. Well, one day I had to get my sauna ready for an event. I was having a bunch of people coming over and we were doing this potluck thing, and I was also cooking a stew on the stove. So I'm running between cooking on the stove and putting in the ceiling some pieces of wood on the ceiling in the sauna. And I had my arm up like this, and I'm drilling, and I'm kind of stressed. I'm thinking I'm not getting enough support to do everything I need to do. There's also the kids. So there's a lot of things going on. And then the next day I wake up and I have all this pain in my shoulder. So I go to my talk, and to be honest, I'm feeling a little bit like a fraud, because here I am, I have all this pain, I haven't been able to get rid of it, and I'm showing up to talk about releasing pain from the body. And yet I have been unable to do it. Well, after 45 minutes of tapping with this group of seniors at the Mansfield Senior Center and helping each one of us process these trapped emotions and stress and pain that's been going on in our lives, when I got up from the talk, put away my things, went back to the car, I put on my jacket, and lo and behold, my pain is 85% better. The next day, it's completely gone. So it's just another way that I have realized in my own experience the absolute necessity in watching how we're reacting to stress. The language that we use, the feelings and the emotion, and how much that language and stress impacts our physical health. The Center for Disease Control says, the CDC says that 85% of all disease has an emotional contributor to it. And you could say almost up to 90% of physical pain has trapped emotions or a stressful time or event in somebody's life, like this past election has been an incredibly stressful time for us. And when I look at some of the language that's being used on Facebook and other social media, and I see people that are just gut-wrenched, that are sickened, and this is what they're writing, that they feel like their future has no hope, on the verge of suicide. I mean, just terrible things. Just slow down a minute and recognize that the language that's being used has a reality-creating force behind it. You do not want to be driven by a charge like that. Now, with emotions, it's a charge in the body, right? And if you're feeling angry, you want to ride that charge. You don't want to be driven by that anger, because it won't produce the results that you're really looking for. It's only going to make a mess. You could tap into that anger and ride it like a current to really make a change in the world. So just recognize how you're using emotions. You want to either use them to your benefit, to making a concrete, discernible, real change and transformation in life and in your experience, or if it's used unconsciously and with haste and allowing one to be driven by reactivity and this emotional charge, then it's just going to create more mess, more disease, possible illness, possible, chronic pain. So just, if you find yourself doing that, you might want to hit the pause button, take a moment, get yourself grounded, unplug from this whole world of too much media, too much information, Today we are just being bombarded with so much information. That's the blessing of the internet age. There is just tons of information out there. It's incredible to be able to access all this information. The challenge is discerning that information and then also just putting it up on a shelf, like a bookshelf, put it away. But so many of us today, it's hard to just stop and put it away. So, put it on the bookshelf. Take these election results, put it on the bookshelf for a time being. Take a break and connect to what is real, to yourself, to others, to the physical, chemical reality that we live in.